there. Hey, welcome in. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Haley and I launched HappyTypeStudio this year. It is the small art business of my dream. I've started off selling digital download wall art and I'm expanding, trying to create all the things that I've always dreamed about making. And right now I'm in the middle of working on my fall collection. It was the first day of fall this week and I've decorated my apartment and I've gotten it all cozy for the fall season, and I want to have myself a little bit of an art session, and I thought it would be fun to bring you guys along for exactly how I do my art. And it's right here on my little coffee table in my living room. I get out whatever supplies that I need. And in this case, I've gotten like all of them out because I don't just want to do one page in my sketchbook. I want to try and do like an art marathon because I don't know about you, but I have this problem where I think of all these ideas and then I'm lucky if I get to like one of them out of a whole list. And I just feel like it's not that complicated. I just get in my head about it. So I've picked 4 of the ideas that I'm really excited about that are fall themed or Halloween themed, and we're doing them today. So I've tried to pick like a variety of mediums, show you a little behind the scenes of my process, and I'm just excited to do some cozy art. So if you're excited, grab, whatever you're working on right now, whatever craft or sketchbook or project that you have going on, and I hope you're excited for some nice, fun, cozy, creative vibes. This first one that I wanted to do, you can see that I started with a page that already had some color on it. This was supposed to be, a watercolor page. It's in my watercolor specific journal. And I originally was planning on drawing skeletons on it. And I was like, who am I? What was I? Girl, you can't draw skeletons. What are you doing? And I still wanted to do something Halloween. So I decided to do bats. And I thought it would be really cool to do like a black on black moment with the black watercolor background and then black markers, and just really layer a whole bunch on it and have it be this really subtle, kind of fun, Halloween spooky vibes. And also I thought it would be a good warm-up for the first part in my 4-part challenge. So I'm just doodling away at my bats. I feel like really simple art that can resonate with a lot of people. I've been talking about it a lot with some friends recently where I feel like I'm not the most skilled artist, and I even struggle with just calling myself an artist still, but the things that I make, people still really love, and just because they're simple doesn't mean that they don't have value. Once I finished with all the bats, I felt like it still needed something, and I can't seem to help myself. I gotta add stars to everything I do. So here I am with my white Posca marker, adding in some stars. Gosh, I love an acrylic marker moment. And that is the final version of the bats. So moving on, I got out my other sketchbook. This is my new one that I started for 2025. I wanted to do a painting. I had this idea to do pumpkins. So starting off, just painting a little bit of a base. While I'm painting these pumpkins in the background, I'm just gonna like yap a little bit with you guys, I always struggle when I come up with ideas and I think I can picture them in my head and they're so cute. And then I get in my head about if I'm good enough to make them happen. And that definitely happened with this one. I have had this idea for weeks and I just put it off and put it off and put it off because I was like, I don't know if I can do it justice, and I don't want to make something that's bad because I really like this idea. And that's kind of the point of these art journals, is to do more art for art's sakes and not care if it's bad. And look at that, in the end, it turned out so cute. Like, can you believe how cute that was? I didn't really need to be overthinking it at all. Like, I don't know why I was like that. But I put it aside to dry and I got out my other journal. This is my bigger format journal. I do a lot of my swirl paintings in this that go up on the shop, and some of my abstract paintings as well. So this is a technique that I've started doing this year where I get this heavy body acrylic medium and I mix my cheap little craft paints into it and I make some creative abstract art with these palette knives. So for this one, I really wanted to do Halloween because I feel like it would make for a really fun bookmark. Imagine you're reading a Halloween book and then you have this colorful, artsy bookmark. That's kind of what I was thinking when I was making this, and that was like what I was going for. So I picked orange, of course, purple, pink, like bright green, and then black, of course. Those are the most Halloween-y colors to me. So first I just start layering the color that I want to be most prominent, which is the orange, the accent of the purple, the smaller bits of pink and green, and the last one that I added was the black because that's the scariest color and you can't take it back once you put that on the page. You might be able to layer over the other ones, you can't take back the black. So there, I finally start layering it in last. But yeah, this is a new technique that I started doing this year and I don't do it like super often, but I think I want to try making canvas paintings in this style. I think it would be really cool. And you know, I photographed this and I put it up on my Etsy shop either as prints or digital downloads, but the physical version is really cool. Sometimes when I'm flipping through my sketchbook and I get to one of these pages, I just love touching the texture on it because it's so fun. All right, now it's time to clean up. These always make a mess. You can see, by the way, I didn't even mention this. I use like an old page in a sketchbook just as my paint palette because I don't want to ruin my actual paint palette. But I'm cleaning up, putting everything away in between doing each of these pages. And my pumpkin painting is dry, so that means I can go and do the fourth and final part of this little mini art challenge. And you can see me hesitating here. I wanted to do silly orange cats. If you have checked out my shop, a lot of people are fans of the silly black cats drawing that I've done, and I wanted to do like a sister version of that but with orange cats. And again, I just get in my head about it where I'm like, I literally doodled that and didn't even think that hard about it. I was like, I'm just making silly black cats and I can do that again, right? Because I did it once and I didn't think too hard about it, so how hard can it be to do it twice? But gosh, I was so in my head when I was drawing these, and I feel like some of them turned out a little goofy looking in like not the way that I wanted, but you know, they're still really cute and I love the eyes. The orange cats and the black eyes are my favorite part of this. They're so cute. And you know, maybe I drew the cats a little big and I didn't fit as many as I wanted, but it still turned out cute. And here we have our final art wrap up. So we've got the black bats and white stars, we've got the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, and then we have the abstract art, which was still drying when I finished this, or when I filmed this. So let me just, yeah, I'm gonna put that back. And finally, the silly orange cats, which I love so much. And here we go, here's all three of them together. Then the next day, once they were all dry, I could, you know, layer them together. But I love how they turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you were doing some crafts, drop a comment, let me know, what were you working on? Oh, my favorite part. I write little notes. I date everything when I make them in my art journal. And whenever I film the YouTube ones, I have to say hi to YouTube.